Being home alone is what most people consider fun, but what happens when the intruder decides to invite themselves inside? You have no idea who they are or how they even got in, and somehow your mom is helping the intruder? Yeah, this is Fears the Fathom Home Alone, and trust me, things only got worse from there. We wake up to our alarm, which we end up turning off and getting up out of the bed, and then we head over to our desk to sit down and start our homework, but we end up getting hungry, so we walk outside of our room and get 3 text messages from mom. She told us that we don't need to order anything because she already left lasagna in the fridge this morning. And now that we know that, we make our way down the stairs and over to the fridge so that we can grab the lasagna. Then we head over to the oven so that we can heat up the lasagna because it's cold. After it finishes heating up, we decided that we want to watch TV because that's usually what we do when we eat. So we head over to the living room and ultimately decide to watch this show that's heavily inspired by Friday the 13th. Then we take a seat on the couch and start eating at the lasagna, and just after our second bite, we noticed someone walking up the stairs. Even after seeing this, we decided to just finish the lasagna, and after eating it all, we end up feeling sleepy, so we decided to get up, turn the TV off, and start making our way to the kitchen. On the way to the kitchen, we get text by Mason Oliver, who tells us that we're gonna have to cancel our plans because something came up, and then we make our way back into the kitchen where we place our dish on the counter. Afterwards, we make our way back up the stairs, and then we head back into our room so that we can finally complete our homework. We ended up completing our homework around 12:38 a.m. and finally we decided to get up and head off to bed. And on the way to bed, we end up getting 2 text messages from mom. She tells us not to stay up too late and that she shouldn't have to hear from Miss Paula this time. And after taking all of that into consideration, we finally dive right into the bed. Eventually, we ended up waking up at around 1:16 a.m. because we wanted to go get some water. And then we took a couple of steps out of our room, but something already feels off. But regardless, we make our way down the stairs and up to the fridge and finally grabbing our water. And because we were so thirsty, we just started chugging it. And just before we head back to bed, I decided to open the door. If you're wondering, it did end up causing a whole game restart, so let's get right back into it. This time around, we ended up eating our lasagna, walking back upstairs, doing our homework, and finally reading some more messages, and then diving right back into bed. Eventually, we ended up waking up again to go get some more water, and this time, we don't open the front door, but instead, we decide to go upstairs. But just before we're able to reach our bed, our mom sends us an attachment along with some more messages. She asked us some very disturbing things like who's at the front door. I don't see how mom would know there's someone at the front door, but I digress. But now, since we're on the topic and we're pretty curious, we make our way back downstairs and up to the front door. And as soon as we make it to the front door, we get some more text messages from mom, and they're just even weirder than the last ones. Yo, real quick, before this video continues, I'd like to take this time to ask you to drop a like and also subscribe. These videos take a long time to make, so any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Now let's get back into the video. And after receiving the text messages from our mom, we decided to look through the window, and we ended up getting caught as he looked directly at us. So we slowly make our way back upstairs, being careful to not get caught. And eventually we made our way back inside of our room, where we closed the door and hid under the bed. And while hiding, a window from somewhere inside of the house got cracked. And then shortly after, the doorbell starts ringing. And realizing that there's nothing else to do, we have no choice but to get up from under the bed. And then our mom sends us a message saying that Paula is at the door. Mom is so sorry, honey. Everything's gonna be alright. The fuck does she mean by that? And well, with not much left of a choice, we start making our way downstairs. But just before we reach the stairs, someone opens the door to the room beside the stairs. We start to panic and we run back inside of our room, shutting the door behind us and hiding under the bed. Minutes felt like hours as we sat there under the bed waiting for any source of help, until finally you can hear the faint sound of police sirens in the background. And it doesn't take long until we are finally safe. But some questions just remain unanswered. What happened to the strange guy at the door? What happened to Mom? Why was Mom in on this? Was Mom just the intruder the whole entire time? Guess we'll never know the answer to these questions, but if you want me to play chapter 2, just spam it in the comments and I'll play it. But until then, I guess I'll see you guys next time.